Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping into something pretty neat in AI. It's called hierarchical pattern learning.
Yeah, it's a shift, isn't it? Moving away from AI just, slapping a single label on something.
Exactly. It's about understanding levels. So instead of just saying polar bear,
Uh-huh.
it first gets animal, then narrows it down to mammal, and then lands on polar bear. It builds understanding.
Like sorting, right. Big category, then smaller, then specific. We saw examples like plant flowering, sunflower too.
Mm-hmm.
So the goal today, for you listening, is to really get how this layered thing helps AI recognize stuff better, but also, crucially, helps it know when to say, I don't know.
And we've got some great test cases that really illustrate this. Should we dive in?
Let's do it. First one, a clock.
Right. And the key thing here, the AI hadn't been trained on clocks at all.
So what happened? Did it guess?
Nope. It correctly rejected it. The output was undefined label.
Okay, that's actually really important. It didn't try to force fit it into, I don't know, round fruit or something
Yeah.
weird. Precisely. It recognized the unfamiliarity early on. That's a sign of a more robust system.
So early rejection of the unknown, big tick there. What about things it did know, like the polar bear?
Ah, yeah. It went as you'd expect. Correctly identified.
And the notes mentioned no misclassification. It seemed very confident.
Very. Same deal with the sunflower example. Trained on it, recognized it perfectly. Accurate, no confusion. So it nails the known stuff.
Okay, known stuff. Good. Unknown stuff. Rejected. Makes sense. But what about fuzzy cases, ambiguous things?
Perfect lead into the mango example. This one was interesting because the input image had low similarity to the mangoes it had been trained on.
Right, so it wasn't a textbook mango for the AI. What did it do?
Well, it got a bit conflicted. The system uses internal votes, and it ended up with 5 votes for lemon,
Lemon. Okay.
with about 56% confidence, and
Mhm.
4 votes for pear, with around 50% confidence. Not exactly decisive.
Not at all. Lemon and pear for a mango. So low
Uh-huh.
confidence split decision. What was the final label then?
This is where the hierarchy really shows its value. Despite the confusion at the specific level, it did trace the hierarchy correctly up to a point.
How do you mean?
It successfully identified it as fitting into the plant category,
Okay.
and then more specifically into the fruit category.
Ah, I see. So it got the big picture right, plant, then fruit.
Exactly. But because of that low confidence and the split vote down at the specific what fruit is this level, the final output was,
Let me guess. Undefined label.
you got it, undefined label. So it gave partial recognition, plant, fruit, but admitted uncertainty at the final step.
That's actually quite sophisticated, isn't it? It's like saying, well, I know it's some kind of fruit, but I can't confidently tell you which one.
Precisely. It shows a kind of reasoning, an ability to fall back on broader categories when the specifics are murky. It doesn't just fail silently or guess wildly.
Okay, so pulling this all together, these test cases really highlight the benefits.
Definitely. You've got that early rejection, like the clock, stopping errors with totally unknown things.
Uh-huh. Then the solid accuracy with the known patterns, the polar bear and sunflower.
Right. And then this inferential capability, shown with the
Mhm.
mango, where it can still provide partial understanding even with ambiguous data.
So this hierarchical approach, it feels more like how we might reason about things, doesn't it? Moving through levels of understanding.
It does seem to mirror that process more closely. It's not just about the final answer, but the path taken, the relationships between concepts.
Which leads to, well, better accuracy overall and a much better way to handle things it hasn't seen before.
Yeah, it's a promising direction. And maybe a final thought for you to ponder.
Go on.
Where else could this layered way of learning, of understanding, be applied? Not just in AI, but maybe in other complex systems, or even just how we approach learning a new subject ourselves, building from the general to the specific.
Starting broad and drilling down, that's definitely something to think about. A powerful framework.